I wish for one election that every black person would vote Republican. What? How can he say that? I said, it's simple. Since 1964, the black folks, we have been giving our vote to the Democratic Party at an exorbitant rate. Therefore, they know they got our vote, and they don't have to cater to us as much as we need them to. The Republicans know they'll never get our vote, so they don't give a damn about us. And as a result, we're the only community in America devoid of representation, which is why we're considered disenfranchised. I'm tired of that. What I want is to put ourselves as a community in a position where both parties have to work to get our vote.
Can I ask you this? Do you think you covering politics like you cover politics, in the words of your mans, is that good for business, your business?
It has the potential not to be. We'll have to see. So far it is. I think I'm doing pretty good. So far it is, but it has the potential not to be. But here's the point. Cam, if I thought like that, I'd never be here. There's plenty of decisions over the years I could have made that would have been good for business. But I had the courage to tackle the issues that I felt passionate enough to attack. That's what makes me, me.
Talking points detected.
This time the BS detectives for Cam Newton. Yeah, I can't give Steven a BS detector on that because I think he's got a point. It's just his opinion. He's saying something a lot of us have been saying, independent voters, people that are not Democrats have been saying this. Black people that are not Democrats, who are brave enough with their own opinions, who are either stubborn enough, brave enough, courageous enough, or just don't give a damn. I'm in all those categories. We all wonder, like, okay, how can we do it? How can we have an opportunity where we can get more for our vote?
You feel like the Democratic Party is taking the black vote for granted?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, and has for a long time. Growing up for me, I was a Democrat. I was a Democrat before I knew what a Democrat was, and, that's the expectation. I don't have, there can't be loyalty to someone or some group that is not being loyal to you. So we have to pay attention to why are we supposed to be Democrats? Because we believe in civil rights, we believe in human rights, and Democrats say that's who we are.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't. But if we're not the true opposition, then you need to work to be the opposition. Show us your human rights, show us your humanity, show us, and we're not getting that.
And we've all uttered or spoken the same words that Stephen A. has spoken. Even Cam Newton. This is why I say Cam Newton is a talking point. Use the talking points because he didn't refute anything that Stephen A. said. He just looked like a deer in headlights. So we got a multi-millionaire, both of them sitting there, and one of them who's so rich and so famous himself, Cam Newton, so afraid of the Democrats he can't even speak his damn mind.
For the record, why are you even speaking about politics? Like, what goes into the thought of, like, why from all your shows, all your platforms, you have a show that's dedicated to politics?
Okay. I'm thinking about what these politicians have done to mess up our country, to have us feeling more divided than ever before. And then you combine that with how some, not most, not all, because everywhere I go throughout the streets of America, black folks don't show me nothing but love. I don't know what the fuck these people talking about. Black people, it's like, he ain't gonna get invited to the barbecue. First of all, I think I can afford my own barbecue. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, and most importantly, if I had my own barbecue, my peeps are gonna be there. We gonna have a barbecue. We gonna hang out. We good. So I don't need that. But thirdly, and most importantly, I don't know when we won't get over the fact that we don't get to define each other's blackness. We're not qualified to do that. We're not one monolithic group. We come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. Okay? Now, all I ask is that people get it right. I am not a Republican. I am not somebody that is going to sit up there and ignore the resistance some in that party have shown to progression as it pertains to the black community. But I'm also not going to be foolish enough to sit up here and act like everything the Democrats have done is in our best interest. When you pushing for immigration or pushing for migrants to cross the border, and you don't give a damn that whether they're legal or illegal migrants, I know why. Because you're trying to dilute the potency of the black vote. Because you want to make sure that voting black, because the Hispanic community is growing by the numbers each and every single day, and they are now the dominant minority as opposed to us as black people, because we're only making up 13.6% of the population. You're basically trying to render us potentless. And I'm not down for that. I'm down for us. I'm not against anybody. I'm not against white people. I love my Hispanic brothers and sisters. I got Hispanic relatives. Some of my relatives are from Puerto Rico, okay? But the point is, I love us.
Cam Newton, so afraid of the Democrats, he can't even speak his damn mind. Because he don't want no trouble. That's our black warriors. That's what we come to, man. He can't even be like, well, you got a point there. Or you don't have a point there. He don't want to say shit. Instead, he says, is that good for business? Is that good for your pocket? You up there talking about politics like you do, you know, not being a sellout for Democrats. Stephen A. said he voted for Kamala. Not good enough. You have ideas that don't put your head directly up the Democratic Party ass. Therefore, you are a sellout. And now here he goes, talking about you cover politics the way you do, dangerously by not being a Democrat. How's that good for business? Last thing we need is a Cam talking politics, because this here would be all up Nancy Pelosi's saggy ass, or Chuck Schumer's saggy ass. That's what that means. And we already got that in D.L. Hughley. We don't need another one.
As president, she will give each and every one of us a fair shot in life. But I have to admit, I didn't always believe that. I mean, if you told me the 15-year-old me would be on stage supporting a prosecutor and a teacher, there is no way that I would have believed you.
We don't need another sellout Democrat with his head all the way up a Democratic donkey's ass. We don't need that. So many times, fam, we've been sitting here questioning the Democratic Party, questioning how can black people get more. And my thing is, look, black people obviously, where we are right now, we obviously could be doing better. We want to do better for our families. We cannot count on these rich celebrity types to help us. They gonna help themselves. They got too much to lose to help our broke ass. Their job is to die with as many toys as possible and give them to their kids. There's no courage. There's no creativity. No new ideas. It's just stay safe. Avoid friction. Fall in line. That's it. And yeah, I blame them. I blame them because too many people now, where's the sayings, where's the Democrats coming out the woodwork to talk about how all these black people died so that we would be able to voice our opinions? Where's that at? See, the only time they use our history of black people sacrificing is when it helps the Democratic Party, not when it helps black people. Because their job is to use black pain and suffering to help the Democrats get elected. It's not to help us. I put out a good video about Hassan Piker, the new savior of the progressives. And there's some progressives that don't feel that way, but a lot of them do. Because they're in it for the money and they see an opportunity to make some money. These folks are not championing for black Americans. They're championing for their friends. They're championing to try to win power, but they're not championing to help us win as a group. And one thing has been very clear over the last 40 years. Black people have to be a lot more selfish. We got to be a lot more focused on our outcomes because Democrats could continue to get in office, But how does that materially make us a better group, a more successful group? How does that help your children? That in itself does not ensure anything for you. Nothing. So I refuse to let my people be gaslit by this notion that you got to get a Democrat in office. You need somebody in office that's going to do something that's going to make your life better for your children, for you and your spouse, for your parents, right? This is what we need. And a D or an R by their name doesn't make a difference. They want you to think that's it. That's because that's the team they on. But just because you get a D in there, if that D doesn't have policies that directly impact Black Americans, what's the point? What is the point, baby? Help it make sense. And see, that's why we're the most dangerous show in America, because we're willing to say that. And these other shows are just not willing to say it. Meanwhile, Black Americans in California, 7% of the population, with 29% of the homeless population, with 50% of homeless families, 7% of the population, and 29% of homeless folks. 4 times more likely to be homeless. That's what you get when you got yourself here. You got Democrats. You got Democrats running everything, and look what happens. So when I'm making my points, when I give you data, I say, look at California, look at Boston, look at Chicago. And I'm not saying the remedy is Republicans. I'm saying it ain't Democrats. I'm not saying it's not those Democrats that are in office, because look at the results. At some point, you got to look at the results. If you don't look at the results, what are you looking at? You listening to Roland? You listening to people's rhetoric? Where's the results? And then they're going to do segments about how Black people don't vote. Fam, with these types of results, of course people are going to get apathetic and say, what's the point? They're not benefiting from it.
Catch Tim Black live on the most dangerous show in America, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Don't miss out on the real. Stay dangerous.